Howdy. Howdy, howdy. So I'm just trying to get Discord up. Here we go. Right. There it is. Hey Sam. So I've got some like semi-serious news, I guess. Which is super fun. Yes, that is. I still don't understand why that's so much darker. Whatever. It's kind of fitting for the kind of news that I've got. Um yeah. Essentially, after my bit of a weird wobble early this week, I had to. Well, I didn't have to. I wanted to talk to. I wanted to talk to my therapist and everything, and it's lucky because like she like randomly called me anyway because she wanted to ask me something. Um, and yeah, I we had a little mini kind of like extra session and stuff, and she like highly recommended that I go and have myself like checked out, like properly like checked out, so that I can get medication or like something. Um, it's like she didn't want to worry me, but she knew that if she basically didn't say anything else, then that I would be worried about this forever, essentially. Uh, but yeah, she said that like it's very much looking like I've got some kind of um, some form of schizophrenia. Um, so yeah, my brain is actually broken. So woo. Yeah, basically, it's a thing where you know how I've basically described that I've got like every now and again I get shown stuff by my brain. My brain just randomly generates. It kind of like acts overtime in kind of like no matter what anybody says, my brain will automatically like imagine shit straight away in great detail. Like scenarios that people just like throw out there and stuff. Um, and stuff like that. And like occasionally I'll have very vivid dreams and stuff. And this is like and I remember all of these usually because I wake up. Yeah. Um but even given that I've like experienced a bunch of shit in my life, um I my brain shouldn't have like this much kind of subconscious trauma to the point where it will like randomly, I shouldn't have this many nightmares. I shouldn't be having this many nightmares. I shouldn't be having this many intrusive, awful nightmare. Kind of daydreams as well. It just shouldn't be a thing. Um, and because I'm very kind of analytical and everything, a lot of times schizophrenia basically means that you kind of you can hallucinate, either auditory or like visual hallucinations and all of that stuff. It's it's a thing. It's kind of well common with like with the particular those particular kinds of um, uh, that particular kind of like dementia and also schizophrenia. However, because of my annoying reasoning, because of my, I'm very analytical, I essentially kind of like can imagine things and kind of make them appear in front of my eyes almost. And this is a thing that's very common apparently with people with hyperphantasia. But the ease at which I'm supposed to, that I can do this and I can defer which things are real and which things aren't means that basically it's a schizophrenic kind of like um, symptom. So yeah, like I can imagine and I can actually like visualize and see it like in front of me, like I don't know, like a rainbow unicorn like dancing around on my phone. That's just like sat in front of my desk. Yeah. Like it's right there right now. It's kind of cute. But yeah, my brain will just do this, but for a lot of the times, disturbing shit. Um, and I'm kind of like jaded, I guess. Like I'm kind of used to it. Like yeah. So yeah. Um, like she obviously wants me to do this as quickly as possible so that I can get medication and everything that I need. But she doesn't. She basically says that it's like I'm not going to have an episode or anything. Like like if I've had it for this long and like it's just not been like officially diagnosed, then I'm probably not gonna like have a thing where it will go off and and I'll have like a panic attack or something because like I've been living with this my whole fucking life. um, yeah. So she wants me to do it right away, but because she said that it's like not super, I'm not, I'm not a danger to anybody by basically having this shit. I'm not even really a danger to myself. It's just it makes me feel bad, and since basically like I said, I've lived with this for my whole life. It's not like it's gonna like maybe do something bad, like self delete or something. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna try not to let this ruin my vacation. I'm gonna go ahead with the vacation, and then I'm gonna have to go to the doctors and everything anyway, and set up like an appointment to actually get all the shit sorted. Um, yeah, you can officially mark me as being crazy. We're all a little bit crazy. It's just that I'm kind of properly crazy. Woo! Thanks for the hug, Sam. Hello, Lex. Um, that's terrible. I'm sorry for hearing that. I'm sorry that you heard it too. you know, funsy funs. I mean, it's just life. It's just a thing that happens. people get this stuff. So yeah, I do want to point out that basically it's not like Alzheimer's. It's not like dementia or anything like that. It's just like well, it's schizophrenia. It's something completely different, and it is just yeah. My brain is wired wrong to the point where it wants to it hates itself. That's the messed up part. That is the messed up part. I basically a few months ago I had like a really nice dream of like really awesome stuff that happened in this really nice dream, and I happened to tell her that um, about my nice dream and about my bad dreams and stuff, and how that basically there were a lot of bad dreams and everything. And I did joke that it's like, well, it's kind of like that weird kind of thing. I don't know if anybody else has heard of this, but you know how you're kind of like two people, like your brain is in like is like it's two halves, and that you have one consciousness, but you kind of have a duality to you, and one of the yous is always quiet because it doesn't have the it doesn't have the speech center. It doesn't have like the well, it does, but it doesn't. It's not the one that your body uses to communicate. You know, it's like it's not the cognitive throwing it out there one kind of thing. It's like yeah, and that yeah, it's kind of like that. Like it does clear up a lot because it kind of just I kind of get the feeling that the the me that can't talk, that can't emote, that can't basically do all of this stuff, doesn't like the other one. I think that's it. I just think that's it. Um, my therapist was like, "That's totally not what it is at all." But I mean, you can feel that way, and I was like, "Yes, I can, and I do." Because like, why else would my brain just randomly show me horrible shit all the fucking time? It's just like, yeah. Um, but yeah, there's like weird, famous weird experiments about like people who because this is like people with like certain forms of epilepsy can actually have this thing done where they sever the connection, the actual like bridge between the two parts of this person's brain, and then they kind of like you know the their left arm or their right arm or something will like act independently sometimes and do things that you kind of like think of subconsciously doing sometimes, but you don't actually do them and stuff like this because it's the other half of the brain. So yeah, if the person is deaf, he can actually using body language. If the person is deaf, he can actually use body language. Okay, but yeah, I mean, like, there's even been like I think there's even been like a house episode or something. Although I think it was one of those weird trippy episodes where it was only half real or something. I don't know. But yeah, it's kind of like it's sort of funny but messed up at the same time. Um, but yeah, yeah. So yeah, I kind of wanted to get your guys' like thoughts on this and stuff. I just I kind of don't really know how to feel. It's a little bit of kind of like a I've always known that there was like something majorly, fairly majorly wrong with my brain, you know. But like, I never kind of like, I thought it was just the aphantasia shit. I didn't think it was kind of like this, you know. Was the one where the guy had hyperactive hand and he couldn't control exactly that one? Yep. Yeah. It's basically demonstrating that there's like there's two of the, you know, there, you are made of like two, essentially two people, and you're and it's people will like say that there's like a there's like a left and a right side of the brain, and they do radically different things, and your brain isn't like that. That's not how that works. You know, it's like it's, for one thing, your brain is actually incredibly symmetrical. You know, um, for the most part, for the everyday functions, especially, you know, for the everyday kind of like moving things around, it's very very symmetrical. You know, like, yeah. Um, it's yeah, it's it's a thing, but some people will say it's like, oh well, you know, this half of your brain is like more creative, and this part is more, you know, this other half is more like analytical and stuff like that, and it's like, but that's not how that works. That's not really how that works. Um, you know, your hemispheres share stuff pretty equally. You know, it's just that you can essentially lose one hemisphere and you will be completely fine, kind of. um, but you will be different, you know, and it's one of those things of like, yeah, it's complicated. It's just very complicated. But essentially, we don't know anything else. You know, it's like everybody has this kind of duality to them. You know, oh my god, it's how do I explain this? It's they say somebody was born with only half of their brain. You know, like the other half was damaged at birth, and it basically had to be removed somehow. You know, and they lived their life completely fine. They usually will probably live a life where they are completely sure of themselves. No matter what they do, they usually are completely sure of themselves and stuff. And it's kind of a thing with human nature, that when we're born and we grow up and everything, you know, you question yourself. There's a weird duality with your brain where you kind of like you ask a question all the time. You ask questions all the time. You know, what do I really want to eat? You know, and you might kind of fancy two things kind of equally, and you can't decide between these two things. And you don't know why you can't decide between these two things. You should have like one immediate preference, but you do, and it's kind of because like you are two people. So yeah, get a second opinion. Well, that's the whole point. Essentially, my therapist, like is unofficially my therapist. Like, I've already explained this. Like my therapist, she was studying to become a like psychiatrist, like a proper, you know, PhD doctor kind of brain psychiatrist person. You know, she was training to be one of these people, and she needed somebody to basically practice on, and she didn't want to go through all of the worky work of essentially kind of like, you know, doing like an internship and sitting on sessions and basically like finding finding a professor that basically was also a psychiatrist and basically doing all of the notes and all of that stuff. She didn't want to do all of that stuff. She did do some of that, but it's essentially a lot easier if you can practice on people, like actually get proper like practice subjects and stuff like that, essentially. And like we were friends, and I offered, and she's been giving me essentially free therapy, um, with the, basically like what she gets out of it is the experience and being able to write about me, you know, do all of her work and papers and shit all on me and stuff. And I'm totally okay with that. And if she basically needs me to, I've signed papers and stuff, you know, I've I've had to sign papers and stuff saying that basically my cases can be used in stuff, and like people can ask me questions and shit. um, but yeah, she is now a full-on psychiatrist, and she is a full-on therapist. She mostly does like lab work and stuff though. She does research and lab work and stuff. She doesn't actually see patients. Um, but because we are friends, she still does for me, and actually like scheduled weekly kind of like sessions, which is again very nice of her. It also happens because like I happen to be one of her friends that actually has the thing, the kind of weird rare thing, the hyperphantasia thing, um, that she is actually kind of wants to study. So that's helpful. Um, but yeah, whenever there's been like a case where she needs to like, well, she wants to like prescribe me medication, or basically she wants me to get a second opinion or something, then I have done. Um, Although the meds don't really work, but these are different. These are going to be different meds if I basically do have this thing, which she basically says I have it, but I need to get officially diagnosed. Like she's officially diagnosed me because she can do that, but like I need to get like officially diagnosed by somebody in my country, which is completely understandable if I'm going to get medication for it. Um, so yeah, I am getting a second opinion anyway, but she's been basically my therapist for like 5-6 years. You know, since we both did the counseling thing together, since we were both counselors for the LGBT charity thing. So yeah. It's just yeah. Like I said, I don't really know how to feel about it. It's not like it's incredibly like, there's no like real prognosis. It doesn't really get like the she doesn't know the specifics of exactly what I've got, but like it shouldn't get worse if I essentially have made it this far into my life and it's been happening all of my life, then yeah, I've never had an episode, or like I haven't had like a fit or a panic attack or anything like that. It's just super fun. I mean, like I said, this means that I don't really know how to feel still. It's like I still don't really know how to feel. So yay. I kind of feel really bad after reading up on this stuff and basically asking her questions and stuff like that. Then it's like I really feel bad for the people that like have this but worse, because apparently they exist. Obviously, you know. people who have like paranoid schizophrenia, and people who have like just like full on hallucinations and auditory hallucinations and stuff like that. It's like I can, well, because of the way my brain is wired, I can imagine what that would be like, and that would be terrible. That would, yeah, you know. I did say that basically, like, will this be able to? Will this stop like my ability to kind of like what's called a lucid hallucination? Like like I said about the unicorn, which is back and is now running around on my phone. Um, like, will this stop me from being able to do this? And she said that, like, depending on the medication, probably yes, but it won't stop it completely. You will just kind of have to do work extra hard with your imagination, probably, if you want to do those things. And it's like, I don't know. I mean, it'll be cool. It will stop me imagining random corpses just places sometimes, but it will be cool to basically keep the cool stuff. You know, it's basically an anti-hallucinogen. And it's like I kind of like that. Plus, the cool HUD that I bring up sometimes is really awesome. I mean, I really like that. It's very sci-fi. It makes me feel like a cyborg. I know this makes me sound crazy, but actually, I'm crazy. But like when I'm especially when I was on a bike, especially when in my biker days, I would basically bring up this kind of like Star Wars tracking computer like HUD, where basically like lines would go past my face. It would kind of like do that, like with a grid and everything, and kind of do like a scan thing and everything. It was really cool, just to make sure that I'm basically like paying attention to everything that I need to pay attention to. It was kind of distracting, I guess, but at the same time, it was like, um, it was fun. It's just something that I used to do, and like sometimes when I'm in a car or something, I'm in the passenger seat, I still do that, and it's just interesting. I don't know. You are crazy, Panafox. How are you, dude? It's been a long time. I am crazy, like officially and everything. It's also, I mean, like, here's a weird, sad thing, right? Here's a weird, sad thing. Um, as you may know, I lost my first boyfriend, my first partner. Like, he passed away. My fiance, he passed away, and like whenever somebody, whenever somebody in general, but whenever somebody important in my life passes away, I kind of have the last conversation with them. I know this might sound a bit like morbid and creepy, but it's not. It's not like you think. It's kind of like where I will just imagine and picture and fully see them, and I will have a last goodbye, like a proper last goodbye with them. Um, you know, I will take some time to basically go somewhere, somewhere nice, usually, you know, just have a walk, and then basically when nobody's around, I will kind of like have a full-on conversation with them, and then say goodbye, and they will walk away. Occasionally people come back, and I still talk to them. I still talk to my cousin. I still talk to Greg. You know, like that's weird in a way, I guess, but it's not completely uncommon. You know, ooh, it's kind of like I don't know if anybody's seen Stargate Atlantis. It's kind of like when one of the characters. I'm trying not to spoil it in case anybody wants to watch this. Basically, one of the main characters, like they lose, like somebody dies, and um, fuck it, Dr. McKay kind of just like he goes out to one of the piers of Atlantis, and it's very quiet and peaceful there and everything, and then he has a conversation, like he basically like has a conversation with this person that's dead. They're dead. Um, and it's very sweet. And then kind of he goes away. And it's one of those things of like when I watched that, I was like, oh my god, I'm glad somebody else does this. You know, you're good mostly. Well, that's nice. I see that I know that you've been online and stuff, and I see you interacting with shit, but you haven't been online much. You know, you haven't been on my streams and stuff much. Um, which is fair enough, you know, but yeah. Pets as well. It's a thing with pets as well, of course. Like yeah. I mean it's this is the nice thing that I use this weird superpower for, you know, the lucid hallucination thing for. I can imagine anything in reality as well. So it's kind of cool. It's just that I didn't know that this was like a not so good thing. You know? I thought that was only a good it was only a bad thing if basically um you can't control them. But apparently it's no. Apparently that's something that you're not supposed to be able to do. Yeah. Oh, I don't even know if I want to do any editing now. I'm kind of like I bum myself out a little bit. Mm. I've got a couple of projects that I'm still working on editing wise. Um, one of them literally just needs to it just needs to be, you know, has to have the transition and just the color correction shit done mostly, and then it's ready to upload. The other one I don't know so much about because I can't actually remember what that video is about. I do know that my computer has definitely got at least one more video that I'm supposed to be editing. I've got a feeling it's like from either one of the videos that I filmed at my mum's house or right after that. Either way, it's been a while and I should definitely get on with that. But, you know, I've been sick and stuff. So, yeah. Physically, I'm okay. I just want to point that out. You know, I've had a weird day today. I had that, and then I had like a random tutoring session, which was kind of annoying because, like, the person that I was tutoring was just like not paying attention at all. And I was like, I really should just record these so that when I can, that if they basically say that I'm sorry, I don't understand, I wasn't really paying attention kind of thing. I could just basically just bring up the video and say just let it play again. So yeah. I actually say to them, it's like, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you. So yeah. I'm crazy. I could do it. No. I yeah. Sorry. But no, physically I'm a lot better. I'm still kind of like just every other hour or so, I will just randomly get I must clear my throat out because there is a lot of nose gunk that made its way in there whilst I was just passively breathing. Ugh, I really hate being sick. I really hate the aftermath of being sick. Being sick I kind of can deal with because it only lasts for like a day usually. You know, a day or two of just feeling kind of like generally shitty. It's the after part where you basically are just like going about your business and then you choke on your own random garbage that has built up in your throat from your fucking nose that I don't like. You know, it's just the random kind of like that's what coughing is, by the way. That is just what coughing is. It's you choking on, unexpected coughing. When you're doing like actively coughing, then yeah, that's not what that is. But when you basically are just randomly coughing, when you randomly get a tickle and then you cough because of it, that's because you're choking on your own crap that your body is making. Why is that a thing? That should not be a thing. If it is a thing, we are in the future. I demand that science come up with a better way of dealing with this bullshit. You know, you know, I I know this is off topic completely, but this keeps coming up in my brain. I don't know why, but well, it's just whenever somebody said that they actually had pneumonia. So, and basically one of the things with pneumonia is that you basically fluid builds up in your lungs, to the point where you actually drown to death on your own like fluids. And it's like that's creepy and scary and stuff like that. But every single time I hear the word pneumonia and I know about the symptom, all I keep thinking is all I keep thinking is, why can't they just hang the person upside down? Won't this fluid just leak out if you basically do that? Or why don't you put a drainage tube in or something? I don't know. Just like this seems like it's a really, really obvious, simple problem to fix, right? You know what? Right? I mean, am I crazy? I can't say that anymore. I am crazy. Uh, right? Just every single time I hear that somebody's got like pneumonia, every single time I think of like pneumonia, every time it's brought up or it's in a medical show or something, it's like all I keep thinking is like, when they say that it's like fluid is building up in their lungs and stuff like that, and it's like, well, can't you just tilt the table or like flip them onto their front and tilt the table, right? But really, why can't you do that? I asked my mother this a long time ago, and she gave me an answer saying it's like that's just not how it works, and it's like, thanks, mum, because do you know why? I think that she actually thought this at least once. It's like, yeah, why can't they do that? It's like, yeah, mum, why can't they do that? You were a nurse. Seriously. I almost kind of want to pose as a doctor and then go into a hospital and then basically, like, when they're doing rounds, I kind of just want to be the idiot, you know, be the idiot doctor and and just be like, just a quick question. Why can't we do this for pneumonia people with pneumonia? Or like any fluid buildup stuff, any kind of congestion that people have in their lungs that is like a loose fluid, you know? I just want to know the answer. I want to know the answer because typing it into Google doesn't work. I'm just curious. I'm just curious about this. It's a question that's never been answered. I don't actually expect anybody to actually answer me. I'm just saying that this has always bugged me. But yeah, it's just that there's little shit in life that I kind of want science to have. We should be there. We should have figured out some of this stuff. We've been around forever. You know, it's like. Sorry, I just heard the back door. I I don't get it. Anyway, yeah, there's just little things like that just like we've been around for a long time. What you're thinking of? Yeah, like Damon's not here. He's gone away to, I think it's Liverpool. Liverpool. Um, so he's left his pup, his boyfriend, the roommate, basically here. Um, I just don't know why he would want to come to the back door. There's nothing for him to do in the garden. Unless he wanted to ask me something in particular, I don't know. But I haven't heard him knock on the door or anything, so I don't know. Hopefully he's not locking the door, which means I won't be able to get back into the house. But whatever. Anyway, yeah, just like we've been kind of civilized now, kind of, though around about 1,000 years. You know, it took us a long time to figure out medical shit. I get that. I get why it took a long time to figure out medical shit. I get it. It's complicated, and yeah, it's a bit crazy that up until like the late 1700s, like early 1800s, did we start to figure out stuff. But I mean, we've had over 100 years of really cool shit that we know about medically wise. What gives? Why do we still have annoying, irritating problems and stuff like that? Also, philosophy has been around for fucking ever. At least 100,000 years, our species has been able to, do stuff, think creatively, at least. How comes we don't know very, very simple bullshit like what exactly happens to us after we die? I get that. I get that there's a reason why we don't really know, but I just kind of feel like it's been 100,000 years. You know? It's been fucking forever. Just figure it out already. Jesus. It's not Jesus. I'm not buying that. Anyway. But yeah, things like coughing and just kind of like, you know, the cold, the common cold, you know. Stuff like that. Everyone's afterlife could be different. Well, that's what I mean, though. We don't know that, though, do we, Panda Fox? We should know, though, because 100,000 years, okay? It's fucking bullshit. I do like the Marvel afterlife theory thing, you know, that basically, like, there is technically afterlives. It's canon now that there is definitely an afterlife, usually for everybody. Kind of. I do like that. The whole, I don't know if anyone's seen the latest Thor movie, but the whole Lady Sith and the whole, but I shall be off to Valhalla. And it's like, the battle's over, you didn't die. He's like, fuck. Oh, I love that. Does he say fuck or does he say shit? I think she says shit. Shit is kind of like the less of the bad words now, I think. Yeah. Right. I'm just saying, I was giving it as an example anyway, Panda Fox. It's like one of those things of like, yeah, it's like it's been 100,000 years. We should know this. We should know this. You know, there's certain things that should still be a mystery, yes, but certain things we should know already by now. You know, like we figured out what colors were. You know, we figured out physics. You know, again, all of this stuff is relatively new, but yeah. Oh my god, I was actually talking to like one of my students because I'm trying to get back into that. One of my students actually like her brother is super into like conspiracy theories and like ancient aliens and stuff. And there's this whole big thing about like how he cannot fathom how ancient people were like that smart in which to make pyramids. Like they had to be made by aliens and like all I hate this so much. I hate this so much because I've never thought it was aliens. I thought it would be cool. At one stage I did think it would be cool that Stargate was true, you know? But you know, once you kind of figure out that like a pyramid is the one thing that you can actually build that you can make really big really easily and it will last a really long time, then people seem to just do that. You know, it was kind of like once one of them figured it out, it was like then it's kind of inevitable. It's one of those things of inevitability. Inevitability, you know. Once we figured out that basically we can make bricks, you know, it's like oh yeah, it's like one of the first things. One of the first things you do with Lego. One of the first things you do with Lego is, and I've seen every fucking kid do this, is basically like they build pyramids. Any kind of little building block or something like that, like they inevitably build pyramids. Eventually, they will build a pyramid. There'll be some fucking around with the bricks, and then they'll just be like, "I need all of the bricks." And it's like, why? It's like, because I'm trying to build a really big pyramid, and it's like, yeah, I know, right? It just is a thing. It's kind of like it's weirdly inevitable that like once basically people figure out how to make bricks or any kind of stone structure or of any kind, eventually they're going to make a pyramid. It just is a thing, you know. But yeah, it was one of those things of like, she said, I said that to him, and he said that, yeah, but why is it a thing that everybody would do that? And I was like, well, I was like, yeah, that's because it just is. It's one of those simple, really simple, easy structures to make. Pyramids aren't hard. That's why everybody makes them. Everybody makes them. The fucking Chinese and the fucking Japanese made pyramids. It's like not. It, it's like they're everywhere. Everywhere where you basically would think that independent people who make buildings, they made pyramids. It's like it's a thing. And like the whole thing about like, well, they couldn't make tools that are good enough to basically make blocks that straight and stuff like that. It's like, okay, first of all, yes, they can. We have even got like some of the tools. Some of the tools have survived to this day of exactly what they did. The Egyptians in particular were really clever with their tools and how to like make stone, do stuff, so they can make giant bricks and stuff. There are unfinished, Egyptian needles. The obelisks. The big obelisk things. That like were abandoned and stuff in quarries, in ancient Egyptian quarries and everything, and they were just buried again, and then unearthed by archaeologists, and they were basically like mid breaking this thing out of the quarry to transport it, and it's like we know how they did it. We have the tools. Some of them are still there. So yeah, they totally can. And if you look at the pyramids, like in particular, just the Giza pyramids, the Great Pyramid in particular, with all the its exposed brick and everything like that, they're not perfect bricks. A lot of them aren't perfect. Nearly all of them aren't perfectly brick shaped. It's like they happen to just line up. A lot of the time, they just happen to line up properly. If it didn't line up properly, they would put it just nearby somewhere else, and then it would line up properly with that brick. They kind of think that this is also something that happened with like the what is it? Is it the Olmec or something? The people that basically the Central American people that basically like you can they use no mortar, and they could like the bricks are kind of like this. You can't put like a sheet of paper in between them because they're so perfectly formed and stuff like that. They kind of feel like this is like easy to do, especially when you've got so many different. It's kind of like you basically line up the bricks, and you kind of just like you keep pushing the brick until like you find one that perfectly fits this very very obvious shape, and then you keep doing that until you find one that fits perfectly. And if it doesn't fit perfectly, then it sticks out a bit. Then you kind of just like, chisel a bit of the front off, and then you've got it flush. And you keep doing that, and then, yeah, they know how they did it. It's like, this isn't a mystery. It's not hard. But yeah, people still believe in this bullshit. Like, aliens did it because, we couldn't do it by ourselves. It's like, have you seen what we do? Have you seen what humans do? Homo sapiens are like fucking everywhere, and they are amazing. And also terrible, but a lot of them are amazing. It's not like it's rocket science, in which case we've done that too. Oh, that's what really bugs me about like people who just like can't believe, they cannot believe that people were that smart in the past. You mean that people were as smart as we were in the past? It was like, yes, they just had different information. Why is my screen not timed out on this device? Creepy. Weird. It's just that it's been on there for like an hour. It's been on the screen. It's telling me that it's low power now as well. Anyway, yeah, it's like they're just like we haven't gotten like smarter. Our brains haven't changed for like thousands of years. It takes a long time for evolution to fuck with us. So yeah. That's one of the things that I don't like about like things like X-Men and stuff. It's like, oh, it's just natural human evolution. It's a thing. It's like, no, it's not. That's yeah. It's not how evolution works. Ooh, that's what I wanted to watch. I wanted to watch all of the. I did want to watch all of the X-Men like series because it was on Disney Plus or something. See, now I've got to turn the phone back on again so I can go to Disney Plus. And I just want to see if this is on there. Yeah, who's watched Echo? Who's watched that? Marvel? Do they have like a special X-Men thing? X-Men. Okay, like these are the movies. Cool. And the animated series. Where is it? What the fuck is The Gifted? Oh, the animated series. I want to see X-Men Evolution. You know? That's what I'm looking for. X-Men Evolution. Nope, they don't have it on Disney Plus. Ugh. But that's where they said it was. Oh, somebody said to me that like X-Men Evolution was now available on Disney Plus, and I was like, yes. I actually really like that series. It was kind of like it was cool. That was one of my childhood series. Oh, it's the first today. Shit. 1 month. 1 month. 1 month away from paradise. I'm gonna go. I'm not gonna do the any more editing tonight. Anybody want to ask me anything or say anything to me before I leave? I'm sorry that this has been such a downer. This live stream. It's just that I don't really see it as a good or bad news. I just see it as big news, I guess. You know, it's just like nothing's really changed for me. So yeah. Too tired? Not really. I just that I'm kind of I want to stand up. I want to move about a bit because my bum's falling asleep. So I don't want to sit here and do editing and stuff. I want to get up at least for like half an hour or something, and I've got to go find something small to eat so that I can have my tablet, have my not brain tablet. It's just another thing to worry about. Woo! Although not really worried. See what I mean? I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel. I don't know how to feel about it. It's too weird. But now you guys know at least. So that's something. It's cool. I have been on for an hour. If I was going to do editing, I would have done it by now. Ugh. Right. Okay then. I'm gonna go and find something to eat. I don't know what to have. I don't really know what to have. My tummy was being acidy because I had homemade lasagna, and the person who made the lasagna basically used lots of tomatoes and balsamic vinegar and basically very acidic stuff and not many vegetables. It was just tomatoes, which are fruit, and some onion. I'm just not used to my lasagnas being that kind of just meaty. I kind of like some vegetables in it. Basically, I like. I'm weird. I've got the anglicized lasagna, so basically carrots and mushrooms and I don't know. There's a leafy something in it as well, but I can't remember what that is. I think that might just be a Herbie. That might just be a Herbie herb. Yeah. I want to say basil, but that just is part of the sauce, right? Maybe? I don't know. Anyway. I don't either. Oh, my butt is definitely asleep. I will be back. Probably not tomorrow night, but unless oregano, yeah, maybe. Yeah, unless I'm basically just not in the mood to bear live stream, then I'll probably be doing. I'll probably be back tomorrow, maybe, kind of. I don't know. It kind of depends. It kind of depends on a couple of things. But I will definitely be back. If I'm not back tomorrow, then I'll definitely be back the day after. But yeah. Yeah. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I need to tell you guys, but I think I've covered everything in this one. Woo! Crazy people unite. Well, no, they wouldn't do that because they're crazy. Sorry, I have to say we wouldn't do that because we're crazy. Yeah. Ugh. Berry wubs. Oh, my back stretched and my back did a little cracky noise. And belly salute. So yeah. Oh, I've got to get my t-shirts washed and everything ready for next month. That would be dangerous. Well, no, they wouldn't. The crazy people wouldn't unite. They some of them actually can't. You know, some of them are actually like agoraphobic, which means that they are like they don't want to be near other people. So yeah, it's a whole thing. You can't actually get crazy people to unite. It won't work. Anyway, yeah. And yes, it might. So some of them might be dangerous. Yeah. Yeah. I'll see you guys in like whenever. I'm still around on like Discord and stuff. But yeah. Toodles.